Hey, welcome back to Next Act Ninjas, the go-to podcast for mastering your health and wealth longevity. I'm your host, Rachael Van Pelt, and today I want to tell you a story that's hard for me to tell because it's about a mistake that I helped make. Most people think missing a right-sizing window means you waited too long because you were scared or you were stuck in the comfort trap or in denial. And sometimes that's exactly what happens. I've told you a few of those stories before about the couple who said we'll downsize at 75, but by 72 could no longer physically manage a move. Or the woman who stayed in her beautiful mountain home until the isolation started accelerating her aging. But I think the most dangerous version of this trap doesn't look like delay at all. It looks like progress. It looks like you're doing everything right. It looks like winning. Today, I'm going to tell you about a client I'll call Patricia, because what happened to her is something that nobody warns you about. It's easy to overlook, even for me. But before I get into her story, if what I'm about to describe sounds even a little bit familiar, I want to remind you that I built a free tool called the Rightsizing Decision Coach. It takes just 5 minutes, walks you through 24 questions about your body, brain, bank, and base. It's going to tell you exactly where your home is helping or hurting your health span. You'll find that tool at coach.rightsizeretirement.com. I'll also leave a link in the show notes. Okay, but here's what happened to Patricia. She came to me right after she retired at age 65. And boy, was she ready. She was ready to get healthy, ready to get strong, and ready to make some big decisions about the lifestyle that she wanted to create for her next act. Her situation was one that I see all the time. She had a primary home that had become just too much for her. Rooms she didn't use, a yard that was a full-time job, carrying costs eating into her savings every month. And on top of that, she was managing her late father's townhome in another part of the state. She'd inherited it when the estate settled, and she'd been managing it from a distance ever since. She was paying the utilities, dealing with the HOA, keeping it market ready without actually putting it on the market. 2 properties, 2 sets of carrying costs, 2 decisions that she had been putting off until she had the mental and physical bandwidth to deal with them properly. But first, her body needed attention. She knew that. I knew that. Years of a demanding career had taken a toll. Her fitness had slipped. She wasn't sleeping well. Her energy was flat. And so we started there. That was the plan. We'd rebuild the physical foundation first and then execute the move from a position of strength. And it worked almost too well. Over the next several months, Patricia got strong, not just feeling a little better strong, but genuinely measurably stronger. Her stamina came back, her energy came back, her mood lifted, and she was finally sleeping through the night for the first time in years, waking up with the kind of clarity that she hadn't felt since her 50s. And she told me, I feel like I got 10 years back. The timeline that we had for her was straightforward. She would get healthy through the winter, start decluttering in February, get the house prepped in March, list both properties in April or May when the market opened up. Execute the move while she had the strength and the clarity to do it well. But then something shifted. Patricia felt so good by spring, she wanted to keep going. She had found a hiking group, a bunch of women that were doing serious trails 3 mornings a week. And I don't mean just strolls. I mean real hikes with real elevation gain. Trails she hadn't attempted in years. And suddenly she could handle them. It wasn't just the physical challenge. It was the community that she loved. These women were texting in between hikes, planning longer treks, setting goals together. She was out with them by 7 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and she was lit up about it. But the move, that spring timeline that we'd mapped out together, it started to drift. First, it was, well, let's push to early summer. That'll give me a few more weeks to hike. Then it was, I think fall actually makes more sense. Market's better in fall anyway, right? So the packing didn't happen. The realtors didn't get called. Her father's townhome sat with the utilities still running and the HOA dues still hitting her bank account every month. But Patricia felt great. She was hiking mountains. She was posting summit photos, planning a group trip to a national park. It all felt like winning. And here's where I have to be honest with you, with myself. I supported her decision. A one season shift, spring to fall, that's a perfectly normal adjustment. People do it all the time for all kinds of reasons. Market timing, family schedules, wanting a little more prep time. The house will still sell in the fall. The market will still be there. I believe that, and I told her that. Almost any other age, that seemingly benign decision would have been fine. A 35-year-old, when they delay a move by 6 months, it's irrelevant. When a 45-year-old pushes from spring to fall, it barely registers. But at 65, at the tail end of your go strong years, that 3 to 6 month delay can be the most expensive decision someone makes in retirement. Not because anything dramatic happens, but because at this age, the margin between I've got plenty of time and I'm out of runway is thinner than you think. And you can't see the edge until you've already passed it. What happened to Patricia is something I've started to call the Feel-Good Detour. It's different from the other traps I've talked about on this show. Status quo bias, that's the one that keeps you in your house because change feels risky. Or endowment effect, makes you overvalue what you already own. Loss aversion, makes the idea of giving up square footage feel like you're losing rather than gaining freedom. Those biases are all about staying put. They're about inertia. The feel-good detour, on the other hand, is about movement. You're moving. It feels great. Unfortunately, that movement is moving you away from your goal, not towards it. And it happens so simply, so subtly. You invest in your health and it pays off. You feel stronger, sharper, more capable than you have in years. And that dividend, that surge of energy and optimism, it gets reinvested into more health instead of the decision that the health was supposed to fuel. The emotionally rewarding task, a hiking group, the fitness challenge, the new routine, it quietly replaces the emotionally charged task of deciding what to let go of or sell or uproot. Getting strong and healthy feels like progress because it is progress. It's just not progress towards your ultimate goal of overall lifestyle longevity. And here's why this trap is almost invisible. Nobody around you, not your friends, not your family, not even your coach, is going to tell you that joining a hiking group is a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. It's a wonderful idea. It's just not what needed to happen first. Shortly after she shifted her timeline, Patricia's health started to change. Nothing dramatic, no single catastrophic event. There were just a handful of medical issues that had been lying dormant for years, and they started to reassert themselves, one after the other. A knee that had been fine suddenly needed attention. A cardiovascular concern suddenly required monitoring. Another specialist referral, another wait list. Each issue came with its own timeline. Diagnostic testing and imaging that took weeks to get scheduled. Multiple follow-ups. Referrals to other specialists who had their own scheduling delays, their own follow-up testing. One concern turned into three. Three turned into this ongoing medical calendar that stretched out for months. Now, anyone who's been through this knows when your weeks start revolving around doctor's offices, everything else stops, doesn't it? You don't have the physical energy to declutter a house after a morning of medical appointments. You don't have the mental bandwidth to evaluate realtors or negotiate listing prices when you're waiting on a test result. The very idea of staging a home for sale while you're juggling specialist schedules becomes overwhelming. It doesn't just feel hard, it feels impossible. At 65, Patricia had capacity, energy, and runway. She could have easily executed a move, both properties start to finish, from a position of strength. She could have done it on her own terms, at her own pace, with the clarity to make good decisions. Now, at 67, though, she's found herself playing whack-a-mole with her various health issues. The spring selling window that she originally planned for is long gone. The fall backup window has gotten consumed by appointments that she can't reschedule. Those two properties are still sitting there, still carrying costs, still accumulating deferred maintenance, still waiting for decisions that keep getting pushed to next month. Patricia didn't get stuck due to the comfort trap, at least not directly. She got stuck due to a stack of medical appointments that she can't put off. And the cruelest part, the strength that made her feel like she had all the time in the world, is exactly what convinced her that she could afford to wait. The go strong window didn't slam shut, it drifted closed while she was busy feeling great. And what's worse, Her strength is continuing to dwindle because she's unable to even go hiking with her group now. The appointments keep getting in the way. She's in this holding pattern, waiting to find out what she physically can and can't do. And so her muscles keep atrophying. Unless some of those appointments open up sooner than expected, she's likely going to miss moving at all this year. Now, I'm not telling you Patricia's story to scare you. I'm telling it because I think more than a few of you are living some version of this right now. You feel good, you're active, maybe you're finally prioritizing the health goals that you put off during your career. Maybe you found a community that lights you up, the pickleball league or the Pilates studio. And all of that is wonderful. It's important. I would never tell you otherwise. But I want you to sit with one question, and I want you to answer it honestly. Is the thing you're investing your energy in right now the thing that will move you toward your long game? Starting a new sport, picking up a new routine, getting stronger in your body, there's no wrong age for any of that. I highly encourage it because it will improve your health span. But selling a property, executing a relocation, physically managing a move, that's a competing priority. You need the stamina to pack, the cognitive bandwidth to make complex financial decisions, and enough open calendar to manage it all without your health dictating the timeline. And your window for that does not stay open for long. In fact, one thing that I know for sure after 25 years of studying successful aging, your functional capacity doesn't decline in a straight line. It plateaus and then it drops. You don't know where the edge of that plateau is until you've stepped off. Your health is not the goal. Your health is the fuel, and fuel has a shelf life. So if you're using the strength you've built to do more and feel more and train for one more thing, I totally understand that impulse. It feels right. It feels earned. But I want you to be aware of delaying that right sizing move that you know in your gut needs to happen just so you can go after that next fitness goal or some other feel-good detour. Because what feels like momentum might just turn out to be a sophisticated form of delay. I don't want that to be your story. If you feel good right now, if you feel strong, capable, ready for what's next, use that energy to get moving. You will be so glad that you did. And don't forget to go check out my Rightsizing Decision Coach tool at coach.rightsizeretirement.com. Remember, it's free. It just takes 5 minutes, and it's going to help you find an easy way to figure out where your biggest bottleneck is right now. Until next time, my friends, live well, love more, age less.